Now in this session, let us add a jump feature to our player. If I middle mouse click and drag here and come into my player, that is the vacuum cleaner, when I press space, I want this to jump and come down. In Unity's latest version, we use a new input manager package. What this input manager package is going to do is, for almost all common features or common functionalities of a game, for example, pressing W to move forward, A to left, S to back, D to right, all these are considered as the basic gaming tools. To address these basic gaming navigations and basic gaming shortcuts, in Unity 6.2 and in the latest version, you have a new input system that is adapted into Unity. For example, if you come into Edit, Project Setting, here you have one input system package. You can see here you have action maps for the player, and there are some of the common action maps which are by default added to the player. One is the move. If you open it, you can see that the WASD movement is automatically added here. Then you have the look, you have attack, then you have one input system called as jump, and if you open it, the key that we use for jump is space. So now I will close this, and I want this to jump when I press any of the jump key like spacebar. I am going to come into the project window, Unity profile content, and here coming into the scripts folder, double click to open it, and this time we are going to work with this player controller script. Double click player controller script to open it in Visual Studio Code. So in our previous session, when we added this code, I had provided you a text file. You just copied this entire code, pasted it here, and you had this vacuum cleaner move with the WASD key. As we build this jump component, you can understand what code we had written here and how it is getting executed. All this movement of the player is put under FixedUpdate method. Whenever every frame is rendered, these particular codes will be executed, and here we had one for the vertical input, that is to move our player forward or backward, and another is the horizontal input, which is to make it rotate left or right. After this last line here in line 35, I press enter twice, and I am going to add a comment. It is showing if I press tab, jump when spacebar is pressed and player is grounded. We are now going to test first the condition whether the key that is required for jump is pressed. So just like last time, I will press enter, and this is a conditional statement, so I will start it with if, add open close parenthesis and then a flower bracket and press enter. So now this is the structure of an if statement. Now in this open close parenthesis, I am going to add the condition. The condition is I am going to call input and I want to get button down, and in open close bracket I am going to write the name of this button here in inverted comma, and the button we need is jump. This is the condition. So we are not directly entering here spacebar, because in the new input package, if I say that any button that represents jump, when that button is pressed, in between these flower brackets, we are now going to call a component called Rigidbody. If you move up, there is a variable called RB which is declared, and this type of variable is a Rigidbody. So here in Unity you can even declare Rigidbody as a variable. So I am going to call this variable RB and parade add to this a force, and in open close bracket I am going to end it with semicolon, and for this add force I have to give two parameters. The very first parameter is in which direction I want the force to be added. For this I will call vector 3 and I want it to be added upwards. So I will type up. I want this to be controlled through a variable value. I am going to press space and I am going to multiply this by some value, and this value I am going to declare it as a variable. I will move up now, and here after this private rigid body variable, I will press enter here, and I am going to declare one public float variable, and I am going to call this as jumpForce, and I am going to make its value equal to 5f, and I will end it with semicolon. So if I now come down, this vector 3 up, I am going to multiply this by this jumpForce value and end it with comma. So this is the first parameter we are going to give it to this add force, and the second parameter is I will press space, then I will add force mode parent, and I want the force mode applied here is velocity change. I will come out of this, add semicolon. In add force, it is warning me that A should be capital. So I will select this A and make it capital. So now I just added this command rb.addForce vector 3 up into jumpForce, and the force mode is velocity change. Now I will go to file and save this. I will come back to Unity, wait till the script gets compiled. Come to console and check there are no errors. Now if I press the play button, and now if I start playing it, as I move, see it is moving forward, backward. I will move towards here. See, now you can see when I press the space button, it is going to jump. So I can turn here, press here, and if I press the space button, see this is jumping. Now I will stop the playback, can now come into the player, and in the player control parameter you have a new parameter here, jumpForce. It is set to 5. Now instead of 5, if I set this jumpForce to 50, and now if I execute the command, see now if I press space, see it jumps to a height of 50 units, then it comes and sits here. So I will stop the playback. So I will put this jump speed to around something like 3 units. Now I will click the play button, and now if I press W, then if I press the space, see it is now jumping very little. See, you can see this jump logic is now working fine. I will now stop the playback. The next feature that we want to experiment with is using the trigger area. See, I will play the game here to show you. When I am moving this vacuum cleaner, press A and rotate it a little, move this and bring it near this door. So when I bring this near this door, when it reaches this area near the door, I want this door to open automatically. Stop the animation now. I will come into the project window in Unity Profile Content Script. I will right click here, and I am going to create, and I am going to create a new mono behavior script, and I am going to call this as DoorOpener and press enter. I will right click here and turn around, and I am going to right click and choose perspective view now, and I am going to move in here, and this is the door I have to select. And for this I will come into 03 living room. I will close the furniture, open floors and walls. Now here you have this wall door 2M in bracket 1. I select this, I open this, and inside this there is a component called door. If you open it, this has door, door handle and door handle 001. And for this door, if you come on the right hand side, we have already added an animator and we are controlling it through the door. So we already have an animator of door opening already attached to it. Now I want this animation to play when my vacuum cleaner comes in the area in front of this door. So for this, first I have to select this door, and then I am going to select and drag this door opener and put it into this inspector, so that in the inspector for this door component we have added this door opener script. Now double click this door opener to open in Visual Studio Code. The very first thing I want here is I want to declare a new variable, and the type of this variable is an animator. After this open bracket in mono behavior, I will press enter. I am going to type private, and I am going to call this as animator. The type of this variable is Animator, and I am going to call Door Animator and end it with semicolon. So I have declared a new type of variable Door Animator, and the type of this variable is an animator. And now as soon as the game starts, I am going to call this Door Animator, and I am going to make it equal, and I am going to get it with a component. And what is the component I am going to get? The name of the component is put in lesser than and greater than sign. Inside this, the component I am going to call here is Animator. After the greater than sign, I will add open close parenthesis and end it with semicolon. And for this get component, again it is giving me a warning, G should be capital. So I have called this Door Animator variable, and for this I have attached a component called as the Animator. I doesn't need this update command at all in this code. So I am going to just select this and delete it off. And now I am going to call private void OnTriggerEnter, and in open close bracket I am going to add a parameter. The type is collider and its name is other, and then I will add open close flower brackets, and inside this flower bracket I am going to check for a condition. If in open close parenthesis I am going to again call this other, and I am going to compare the tag, and in open close bracket I am going to add inverted comma, and inside this I am going to call this player. If the collider that is triggering this collision has a tag called player, then I will add open close flower bracket, press enter. I am going to call this Door Animator, and I am going to set trigger, and I am going to put in open close bracket and end it with semicolon, and I am going to call for the animation. Name of the animation is Door_open, and in the animator I have given this animation the name as DoorOpen. Now if you want to know from where we are getting this name DoorOpen, if you come into hierarchy and if you select door, if you come into window animation, you have a tab here called as Animator. If you open the Animator tab for this door, you can see here we have created an animation here called as Door_open. This is the animation that is supposed to get played when the trigger happens. So this is what we are selecting now. Right click on this Animator tab. I will close the tab and I will come back to my code. I will also add comments here. I will press enter, and here I am going to add comment declare Door Animator variable. Then in the start, here also I am going to add a comment. I will add 2// and we are now going to get the animator component attached to the door. Above the if, again I will add 2// and I am going to press tab, and here it will automatically add this comment, check if the colliding object has the tag player. And then next in this flower bracket I am going to press enter, and in add 2// and press tab, trigger the door opening animation. I have also provided this code as a text document. If you come into the given Patreon page link, if you scroll down, I have provided you with this DoorOpener_code.txt file. You can just click on it so that this file is downloaded. Just double click to open it. Now select this entire code here, copy this, come into Visual Studio Code, into your DoorOpener.cs, select everything by pressing Ctrl A and paste the new code. So right now we have already typed it. I will come to file and I am going to save this. Coming back to Unity, allow for the script to compile, and when it compiles, if you come into the console window, you can now see here the error Door Animator does not exist, and the error we are getting this because of a spelling mistake. So if I double click on this and come into the code, you can now see here for Door Animator I have used 2 I's, and the name here is not matching this. So I will remove one extra I, then I will go to file, save this, And now if I come back to Unity and just check it, allow the script to get compiled, and now you are not getting any error and the script is working fine. So if you select door, we have this door animator. Right now the script is not applied here due to some reason. So I will come back here to project, drag this door opener, and I will apply it to this door component. So you can see this door opener script is now applied to this door component. But now for this script to work, I have to now click on add component, and I have to add a BoxCollider for this door. So when I add the BoxCollider with this selected, if I press F and zoom, you can see a box area created in front of the door like this. I can now, in this size, I can change the size of this collider. So along X, I will make it 1.3, and also along Z axis also I will make it 1.3, and then along the X axis I will move it so that it is just in front of the door. Now I will just come into the top view to see the area. So if required, I will just move it along the X axis and move it exactly, it's in between this door like this, and I will also move it along the Z axis here and move it till here. Okay, so this is the area, trigger area, and once I have added it, I will enable this option IsTrigger. Now if I come to file, save this, and now if I play the game, if I bring this vacuum cleaner, I will press A to slightly rotate like this, and if press W and come into the area, and as soon as I reach this area, you can see the door is getting opened, and I can just go out like this. So we have successfully added this door animation now. So I will stop the playback. Now one final part that I have to show you here is how can we use ChatGPT or generative AI to create the required code. Say for example, initially when you are doing the code, if you are not good at the code, how can you generate the code using ChatGPT or generative AI? To give you an example here, I will just zoom out, and here in our previous session I had told you about this direction light. If you select the direction light, now if I right click and turn, and if I press Q and come down, so I will just increase the speed. See now here in the direction light, if I select it, and if along the X axis if I rotate it, you can see how the light is changing. So if I make the X axis 0, it will be early morning, and 180 degree will be evening. So from 0 to 180 degree. Now I want to create a script so that as the game is playing, I want this to change from day to night like this. I want to create this directional light animation, and for that I have to create a script. I am right now going to set it to some angle like 30 degree here. I will come to file and save it. I will open ChatGPT, and here I am going to type my prompt. Create a script for Unity that I can add to my directional light that slowly rotate the light to simulate the day passing. The actual second for a day to pass should be a variable editable in the inspector window. So once I have typed this, now just press enter. So here it is now saying me to create a simple Unity C# script. You can drop onto the directional light to make it slowly rotate like a sun over a full day. And this is the code, and it is saying me to create a day-night cycle. I select this name here, I will copy it, come into Unity, and in scripts, I will right click, I will create a simple mono behavior script, press Ctrl V to paste this name, and then I will just click outside and wait for the script to compile. Once it is compiled, I will double click to open this in Visual Studio Code, come back to ChatGPT, and whatever code it has given here, I will just copy this code. Now come back to Visual Studio Code, and I am going to select everything here, press Ctrl A to select everything, delete it, and press Ctrl V to paste this, and then go to File and save this. Now come back to Unity and wait for the script to compile. Come to console, there is no error, and now it is telling me to select the direction light, and for this I have to drag this day-night cycle and apply this script. Now the day-night light length is set to 120 seconds and the rotation axis is set to X. Now if I come to file and if I save this and if I execute my game, now as my game is running, if I come into the scene view, you can automatically see that for 120 seconds my entire, that is, light shifts from day to night. So you can see the animation happening automatically. So in this way you can get your C# code. Initially if you are not good at coding, you can make use of ChatGPT or Google Gemini and generate the code, and you can generate it and add the functionality to Unity. I will stop this playback. Now I will go to file and save this. Now with this we have completed this programming essential part of our Unity Essentials or this Unity profile creation program, and in our next session we are going to discuss about how to build 2D games for mobiles.